Thankful for the win. Always good to get a win. Always good to get a win at home. We've made that a real point of emphasis as a team, is to win our home games, because that's what championship teams find a way to do. By no means was it a clean game by us. A lot of mistakes that hopefully we can clean up and fix, but that's the fun part of football season. You can see how good your team gets as the season progresses. Just a couple things after watching the film, on a positive note, I thought Miles was really efficient in the passing game, and if not for a couple mistakes, probably could have had even bigger of a game for the guys around him. But I thought he managed the game really well, made some big-time throws. I thought running the ball, got some explosive plays in the run game, land the ball 30 times, which is obviously an emphasis for us to get him the football in different ways. I thought the tempo was really good. Obviously, what stands out offensively is just the struggles we had in the red area, having to settle for field goals. The positive from that is just Hunter being 100%, kicking the ball, and getting him on a good track. That was great to see. Defensively, -9 yards allowed rushing, which is awesome. And obviously, our inability to stop the pass, especially in third downs, obvious pass downs, got to figure out a way to shore that up, get some more pressure on the QB and get him down once we're there, and then correct some mistakes we made on the back end just from a coverage standpoint. Obviously, David Meyer was tremendous and continues to show that I think he's one of the better players at our level for sure at the linebacking position. And then the ability to force that many turnovers, 4 on defense, 1 on special teams, just outstanding to see that. And then special teams-wise, some really good job in the punting game, just in the red zone punt from Ben. That was great. Got Cade in there late to punt too, and that was good to see him get some reps in there. I thought we covered really well. Obviously got the turnover on the one punt that Land recovered, just to show Land's ability as a player for the next level, what he's going to be able to bring a team on special teams. The negative, obviously, is the 12 guys on the field late in the game. That is a huge error, and I take full responsibility for that. We got to get that fixed, because that, I thought, allowed them to stay in the game, obviously. And we'll get that fixed this week from a communication standpoint. So really happy for the win, but also thankful that we got a lot of things to get better at, which if you can win a game and not play your best, positive is I think you got a pretty good team. So we just got to figure out a way to play our best more consistently, and I think that'll help us when we play the great teams of our conference. Obviously, really cool. It's one of those days you'll remember for a long time, and I'm sure I'll be thinking years from now when I'm done about David Meyer intercepting that pass and making us all take a deep breath, and just the feeling we had when that took place, really cool. And just to have my family here and a lot of friends was a cool moment. Yeah, I'm getting a lot more texts nowadays, now that, I'm at the helm of the team they all care about. So they definitely a lot of encouraging texts. And we've had a lot of good turnout in regards to just alumni on our Zooms and stuff, just continuing to reach out and try to get more people involved. But, it was great to get some kind messages. Really, it just comes down to communication as a staff. We had 2 guys that are normally on that unit that had gotten injured earlier in the game. And I know Coach Jackson and myself, we were under the thought process that they were still out of the game. And then when that unit went out there, those guys went back into the game. And one of their replacements did not get the communication that he was no longer in. He still thought he was up because of the replacement he made earlier in the game. So that is all coaching and 100% on me as the head coach, that we got to do a better job just communicating when guys are out and when they're in. And at the same time, like, the ball should have even never gotten snapped. We got to have multiple eyes counting players, making sure, that's a situation where obviously let's just take a timeout and not even have that penalty happen. So things you got to learn as a new head coach, obviously, and I take full responsibility for that. I think, Miles from my standpoint, has had, one tough quarter of football of the 8 he's played now, right? The third quarter at Cal where he made some poor decisions. But, man, he was really solid on Saturday night. Just really good decision-making, ball getting out of his hand. Even the time his plays weren't there, we take a sack. I know people get bummed out, but sometimes those are good decisions. Just it's not there, pockets breaking down. But, if we would have done a better job with our red zone package, and they did a great job defensively giving us some different looks, but would have been nice to – I think he could have had a couple more. I think we could have had a couple more in the end zone there early and really stretched out the lead. So was happy to see him just stay focused throughout the entire game. You saw, a bunch of different throws, whether it's in the flats and then deep posts and crossing routes and seam routes, and that's what this offense needs from the quarterback. So I thought he was tremendous, and there's still, as he knows, I'm going to be harder on that position than any position, so there's still some things I'd like to see him do better, but I thought he played really well. I think the biggest issue that we're having is both games teams just gave us stuff that we hadn't prepared for, which is what good coaches do, right? I think they know that we have some specific concepts that we like to get to down there, and it's not a secret. So we just got to do a better job of having balance down there and understanding, if they're giving us one look, we got to be able to run the ball. Giving us another look, got to be able to be efficient in the pass game. And then obviously the turnover on the sack fumble that they count as a pick, that was just a protection breakdown, miscommunication up front. That normally we got that taken care of, but I think those are the things. Once we get down there, the execution level just has to be so on point because everything happens a lot faster, and so I think unfortunately some of our mistakes have been down that area as things speed up. So just looking at making things simple down there, so the quarterback knows exactly where he wants to go with the ball, and obviously we'd love to be able to get the ball to land. It was a bummer we got the illegal formation on the touchdown run from the 1-yard line at the end of the half, which is
the illegal formation, what exactly?
yeah. So we were in an unbalanced formation, and we were doing a multiple shift motion to get them into the front that we wanted, and Chaz was on the ball and just got confused when he saw the tight end move, and so he stepped off the ball, and when he stepped off the ball, he became an eligible receiver, and now we got 5 eligibles in the backfield, and so I know he feels terrible about it, but I always say that's a coaching error. We got to do a better job making sure he understands the play, and so we'll get that fixed. Yeah, I think obviously the quarterback tradition here is pretty renowned. Miles is well aware of that, and that's one of the things I really love about him is he's well aware of the tradition of quarterback play here and how important that is, not just to the team but to the community. And so, yeah, I know he's got those names probably written down. He knows who he's passing, and we got to tell him also today, I think he passed JT for all-time completions. So he knows that. I know Land knows exactly what he needs to get to, and there's some great guys ahead of him, Preston Jackson and Muhammad and obviously Lonzy. So if we're doing a good job on offense, those guys will be up there where they should be. So we're all motivated to hopefully have those guys have a good year. I think we were pretty aware. We were preparing for both, but we had a good idea that the other guy was going to be out based on the injury he had. So we were preparing for Peace. I think we got to give him a lot of credit. I don't think we gave him the respect he deserved as a passer, just from what we had seen. But, boy, he made some really great, accurate throws in the game. We knew his ability to extend plays, which he showed, being able to shed tacklers and keep plays alive. But I thought he did a great job just being accurate and getting the ball out on time on some different throws. And then there were some definite coverage breakdowns for us, not having Rex in the back end from a communication standpoint. So we had some moving parts going on back there. But great for our guys to see that if they don't communicate and get on the same page, a good quarterback's going to be able to make those throws. And I think the thing that I'm sure Coach Coombs and staff are disappointed about is we were so good against the run that a lot of times it was 3rd and long. It was 2nd and long where they were getting those completions. And obvious pass downs, just got to do a better job getting off the field and being more efficient, which I know they will be. Super proud of Jaden. He's fought really hard, similar to guys like Porter. You're waiting your turn. You're behind a great player. We know you're talented. We want you to keep working hard. That's tough sometimes. It's tough to come to practice over and over again, knowing that you're not going to get in. And last week, right when Rex was out, they attacked him, and he made a great play. And he showed up multiple times in the game. He's obviously got some plays too that he probably wishes he got back, but that happens when you're getting your first run. I mean, his GPS player load was at a number that he'd never seen before, right? So I think he's a guy that'll just get better the more he gets out there. But we love Jaden, plays really hard, loves his teammates, so I expect him to just keep getting better. I mean, full honesty, no. We knew he was a good player. We were just trying to get as many good players into the room as possible to let them compete. Now, once fall camp started, we knew right away, like, oh boy, we hit the jackpot here. This guy's pretty special. I just think his ability to run from sideline to sideline from a speed standpoint is probably better than I can remember in a long time. I can't remember a guy that could run that fast and recover the way that he can recover. I mean, he's got some chase down tackles in that game that are 30, 40, 50 yards downfield, and he's running guys down from behind. And again, he's not coming off the field. He's on there on the punt team. I mean, he's a pretty relentless player. I had a cool moment with him after the game, just sitting with him in his locker, telling him how thankful I was that he was here, and I think him just talking about how much fun he's having, playing football again, and being part of the program. So to come from that school wearing the green and to come here and to make the type of impact he has is pretty cool. That was a heck of a run. I wish he would have gotten down. That's we're all yelling to get down, but I think he heard our mark. Oh yeah, we practice that every week. But I also made the mistake of telling the defense that if we want to win a championship, they got to break the record for touchdowns scored on defense. So he rubbed that one in my face afterwards. So, but no, I mean, obviously prefer him to get down there so we can take the knee and end the game. But what a tremendous sign of his talent that he can run the ball like that. Yeah. I mean, coach has done a tremendous job there building that program back up. I've had a lot of respect for Southern Utah for a long time. Ed Lamb, I thought, did one of the best coaching jobs in a long time when he was there. DeMario, obviously my old teammate, won a conference when he was there. So that program's had really the same makeup for a long time, which is extremely physical, very, very well coached, guys that play really hard. So we know that this is going to be a really tough trip, going out to a place that we know they're going to have a good turnout there, and it's going to be a tough trip for us. And anytime you're playing on the road in these type of environments, we got to do a great job of just our preparation. But they're going to be a really tough outfit, and it seems like as our schedule, as we've talked about, the teams coming down the pipe here are just going to get better and better from my standpoint. So we got to play a lot better than we did last week if we want to hang in there with these guys.